Good morning, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person that committed the crime. As you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office can prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if the bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. And if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Everybody, there you go. Solemnly swear, affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Judith Bazard. Morning, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
5/31.
All right, ma'am, you're here on a warrant that I signed. Apparently you failed to appear on a notice to appear on a VOP. And Ms. Nettie, what's the recommendation on the VOP?
I can see it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bazard.
The recommendation was 180. We have no DUI, school certificate, VIP, substance abuse. She stopped reporting in April, May, June, and
Okay.
she still has an open balance.
Okay. So, Judith, you could take 180 days in the county jail if you wish this morning. There's not really any reason to do that. I can appoint you a lawyer, and they can come talk to you and see if there's a better resolution to this case than 180 days in the county jail. Would you like a public defender?
Yes, I'd like to do that.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. The bond on the warrant is going to stay no bond, unfortunately, Judith. I'll have you back in court on September 6th. So the PD is going to come see you, then you'll see me on the 6th, and we'll see where we're going from there, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn de los Santos. Morning, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
4/7/1964.
I'm having the charges aggravated assault. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'll represent myself.
Okay. Steve, what can you tell? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And Carolyn, I have an address for you on Blaine Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That's correct. That's correct.
How long have you lived there?
10 years, sir.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Your Honor, I work. I'm not unemployed. I'm underemployed. I work for an elder at my church. I take care of her, and I also work at the church. And on the side, I still do some work in the tech and media field.
Okay. All right. Carolyn, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. Condition is that you have no contact with Victor Vetter. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact him through any social media. Don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact with him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charge is resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the Assistant State Attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. I have you back in court on the 19th of September, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ezekiel Suarez. Good morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
11/26/69.
You have a charge this morning of battery.
Tiene una acusación esta mañana de agresión física.
There's probable cause for that charge.
Hay causa probable para la acusación.
As to that charge, do you wish to represent yourself? You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Referente a este cargo, ¿usted se quiere representar a usted mismo? ¿Va a contratar a un abogado privado? ¿O quiere que se le asigne un defensor público?
Que se me asigna uno público, no puedo costearlo.
A public defender, because I can't afford one.
Appoint the public defender.
Le nombro el defensor público.
And state, what can you tell me about his history?
He doesn't have any history here in Florida. It looks like he had a domestic and a drunk issue back in 2000 in Puerto Rico. Besides that, I don't have any other information.
And sir, I have an address for you on Stubb Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live? Please say.
I believe he said yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
1 year I have.
And does Irma Lopez also live there?
¿Y Irma López vive ahí también?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have a job?
¿Usted trabaja?
Yeah.
What do you do?
¿A qué se dedica?
Mining.
I believe he said mining, sir.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000.
Le fijo la fianza en $1,000.
Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Miss Lopez.
La condición de la fianza es que no tenga ningún tipo de comunicación con la señorita López.
No contact means no contact of any kind.
No contacto o comunicación significa no contacto ni comunicación de ningún tipo.
Don't call her, don't write her, don't email her.
No la llame, no le escriba, no le mande correos electrónicos.
Don't have a third person contact her.
No, que no haya comunicación a través de terceras personas.
Don't go where she lives, don't go where she works.
No vaya donde ella vive, no vaya donde ella trabaja.
Have no contact of any kind.
Que no tenga ningún contacto o comunicación de ningún tipo.
If you have contact, your bond will be revoked.
Si usted llega a tener comunicación o contacto con ella, su fianza se revocará.
I also have to hold you at the jail today until 4 o'clock.
También necesito mantenerlo en la cárcel hoy hasta las 4 de la tarde.
So that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you.
Por si acaso ella quiere presentar una petición para una orden de protección civil, pues sabremos entonces dónde encontrarla a usted.
If you're served with a civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact.
Si se les entrega y se le notifica de una orden de protección civil, es doblemente más importante que no tenga comunicación o contacto con ella.
Because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could also get new criminal charges for violating the injunction.
Porque en ese caso no solamente se le revocaría la fianza, pero también posiblemente se le presentarían cargos nuevos por incumplir la orden de protección.
We'll have you back in court on the 13th of September.
Regresará otra vez ante el tribunal el 13 de septiembre.
It's very important that if you bond out, you go and see the public defender.
Es muy importante que si usted sale bajo fianza, que vaya a reunirse con el defensor público.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Muy bien, gracias, señor.
Okay.
Joe, what's your book's name?
Pardon?
Third?
13.
13, sorry.
Scott Donahoe? All right, Scott, what's your date of birth?
5/21/70.
All right, Scott, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment. That means a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $660. Can you afford $660, Scott?
No, sir. I've been in the hospital for the past 7 months.
Okay. And what's had you in the hospital?
I'm terminal. I have a chronic, osteomyelitis and a bacterial disease in my bone.
Okay. And you said 7 months?
Yeah, I got out. Well, I got out in March.
What have you been doing since March?
Trying to heal up, trying to get better. So it's not getting any better.
Okay.
I have the insurance and the SSI that came through.
Okay, how you been supporting yourself?
I haven't. Friends.
Okay. When's the last time you worked?
For sure, that was last year sometime, because it was sometime before I actually got to the hospital that they would give me help. Nobody in Hernando or Citrus would help the hospitals.
Okay. All right, Scott, I'll find you're not in contempt for failing to pay the child support, so they're going to release you today. However, the issue doesn't go away. You should get in contact with the folks at the Department of Revenue or Child Support Enforcement. Talk to them about what's going on and try to get this cleared up. If you don't, then somewhere down the line, they're going to do this over again. You'll wind up getting arrested again, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck. David Lachey. David, what's your date of birth?
February 24th, 1970.
David, I have 2 charges this morning. I've got driving under the influence and refusal to submit to a test. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
I have private counsel.
Okay. And looks like he's got an open case. What's the open case?
He's wanted in Texas.
Okay. What's the open case?
It's also 2017 422 CT. It's another DUI.
Oh, okay.
What was the case number?
17 CT 422.
Okay. And here's what we'll do for today, and
Must be
that's
on
coming
9/7.
back 9/7. Okay. This case then, David, I'll leave the bonds for the schedule, which is $500 on each count. I will move it. They told you the 13th. We'll have it back on the 7th because that is where your other case is. But then job number 1 when you're out on bond is don't pick up new criminal charges. Appears to me that you have. So in your other case, which is 17 CT 422, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your bond. We're going to hold you without bond at least until the 7th when you're back in court. Make sure that you contact your lawyer, let them know that this arrest happened, and let them know that I revoked your bond in your other case, but that everything's coming back on September 7th, all right?
I haven't had an opportunity to make contact to anyone. Is there any way to have bond?
Not from me today, and to be quite frank with you, the judge that you're appearing in front of on the 7th is also me, so the odds of you getting bond then, I can tell you, is extraordinarily low. You're on bond for a DUI, and you've picked up a DUI. My feeling would be, and I'm not prejudging this, but 99 times out of 100, that means you're not getting out of jail until there's been a resolution to these cases. But you should talk to your lawyer about that, all right?
Yes.
Thank you. Todd Nix. Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
December 3rd of 63.
All right. Todd, we'll start with the local charges. Locally, I have a DUI third, I've got 5 counts of DUI with property damage, 1 count of ag fleeing with injury or damage, a refusal to submit, an obstruction without violence. Those are the local charges. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender would be great.
I'll appoint the PD. Steve, what do you want to tell me?
Todd next, right?
Yep.
Looking at his criminal history includes some traffic stop tags, but he's got violations of probation, no driver's license, marijuana paraphernalia, other drugs, resisting without. It looks like he had a DUI prior in 2009 and some kind of drug issue that resulted in 7 years of supervision within the last 3 years out of Georgia. So he might be in violation in another state in addition to this not being his first DUI year.
Okay. All right, and Todd, I have an address for you on Saddleback Trail in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
9 years, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm self-employed. I cut grass.
Okay. All right. On the local charges, I'm going to leave your bonds per the schedule. There's leaving the scene, reckless driving, the DUI, the 5 DUI property damage. Those are all 1,000 each, so that's 12,000 there. There's the aggravated fleeing, which is 10,000, and then the refusal and the obstruction, it should come to about 24,000. Those cases are all coming back on the 19th of September. The other issue I have for you is a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. It appears you're on felony probation out of Pasco County. Is that right?
Yes.
So there is probable cause for that VOP. So how this will work for you, Todd, is that if you're able to post a bond on all those local charges, then they would transport you to Pasco County where you could work on the VOP. If you're unable to post the bond on the local charges, you'll stay here until we resolve the local charges, and then you'd be transported to Pasco on the VOP. If you bond out, you should, if you post a bond here, you're not getting out because you're going to Pasco. So if you stay here, the public defender will come see you here. If you wind up getting to Pasco, make sure you contact the public defender's office to let them know you bonded out and you're getting transferred to Pasco County, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Jordan Panisher.
Is that a felony or misdemeanor?
I think felony because of the fleeing.
Yeah, the third thing.
I think it was the 19th I gave you.
Yeah, that's what I was checking. That's a felony. Thanks.
Yep. All right, Jordan, what's your date of birth?
2796.
All right. Charges felony retail theft. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
This is Jordan.
Yep.
Criminal mischief. He's got failure to appear. I believe he's got a burglary case. Kashgar. So this is the 17 3013.
No, this is a new arrest for a felony petty theft.
I think he has a warrant. 17 MM3013.
Okay. Well, they haven't served it yet.
A date of offense on the 19th. And then, I'm sorry, what did you say? This is 17?
This isn't a case number. This is a new arrest for a
No,
felony
there's another
petty
case, 1782, I believe. And there's a new, maybe a warrant for Grand Theft Auto from the 22nd of July.
There should be 2 open
He
felonies.
didn't come up.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Both with warrants.
Okay. So as far as we know, they haven't been served.
Correct.
Okay.
As well as all misdemeanors. 1730.
So there's 3 open warrants that are going to get served today, presumably. Okay, good enough. Jordan, I've got an address for you on Usher Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No, Your Honor.
Where do you live now?
Homeless shelter.
Okay. You have a job these days?
Yeah, I do auto repair.
Okay. I'm going to leave your bond on this at $2,000. This one's coming back September 19th, and then from the sounds of it, before you get anywhere today, there's 2 felony warrants and a misdemeanor warrant that are going to get served on you. So you'll probably be seeing me tomorrow morning on those, and we'll talk about them at that point. But like this one is coming back the 19th. If you're able to bond out, you should go see the public defender, okay?
Not sure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Patrick Rice. Morning, Mr. Rice. What's your date of birth?
3/28/84.
All right. Patrick, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Rupee. Apparently you failed to appear in her court on a charge of driving on a suspended license. State what's his record.
It goes back to 2006, look at cocaine, failure to appear, battery on law enforcement, multiple charges of that, criminal mischief, false name to law enforcement, resisting without, failure to appear, loitering and prowling, disorderly intoxication, battery, conviction.
That's good. Patrick, where you been living these days?
I'm staying with some friends.
Okay. What's the address?
I'm not sure of the address.
Okay.
Looks like he's wanted out of another state.
Do you have a job these days, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm working as a boat mechanic.
As to the charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
The public defender will be fine.
I'll appoint the public defender. I'll leave the bond per Judge Rupee's warrant, which is $1,000. We'll have you back in court on the 13th of September. If you get out, make sure you go see the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, in addition, there's a lot of out-of-state contacts.
Michigan and Wisconsin.
Alaska.
Tommy Rogers.
Sir.
Morning, Tommy. What's your date of birth?
2/16/78.
Tommy, the charge this morning is, it's a warrant actually signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for one count of disorderly conduct. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you can tell me.
He's got some history for warrant out of Pasco for no storm. That was just last year. Just got out of prison. Today 2 years. Let me see what the underlying charges are. Probation violation. Driving charges, habitual felony, traffic, battery.
That's good.
It's very thick. It's
Right.
It's got 46 entries on it. It's just difficult to read in this format.
Tommy, I got an address for you on Merlin Circle in Dade City. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long you been there?
About 6 months.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir. I'm applying for my Social Security.
Okay. Leave the bond per Judge Toner's warrant, which was $1,000. We'll have you back in court on the 13th of September. If you get out, make sure you go see the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Joshua Bryant.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Joshua. What's your date of birth?
3/18/1993.
All right, Joshua, I got 2 charges this morning, driving under the influence and driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
I'll take a public,
I'll appoint the public defender. State what you tell me.
It seems to be his first contract.
Okay.
I don't have any information about any other.
And Joshua, I got an address for you on Cedric Street in Dade City. Is that where you live?
Correct, Your Honor.
How long you been there?
I've been there for about a year.
You have a job these days?
Yes, sir. I work at Monticello's Pizzeria.
Okay.
I'm a cook.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $500 on each count, so the total's $1,000. We'll have you back in court on the 13th of September. Very important that you go see the public defender when you get out, all right?
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. William Lang?
That was 13?
Yep.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, William. What's your date of birth?
8/28/86.
William, I got a local charge. That is a warrant that I signed. You failed to appear in front of me on a notice to appear for a violation of probation. And Miss Nettie, what was the...
I didn't have him on my list. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll bet it isn't much. Let's look him up.
It was, to be honest, it was for picking palmetto berries.
Just hang on.
They had a
sorry.
mix up with my
I'm sorry.
address. I wasn't getting my mail.
Hang on,
30
William.
days.
30?
Yes.
All right. State, does William have a lot of history?
His history includes a couple of marijuana probation violations, DUI, Willis, and failure to appear.
Okay. Let's see.
Is this Citrus County warrant?
We haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh, okay.
He's got a riddle bodily attachment. Okay, yeah. Well, you certainly weren't trying to have any contact with them, were you, William? Because you FTA'd from me on the 30th of March, and we're just getting to you now. You knew you weren't going to probation, right?
Well, Your Honor, originally they were sending my mail to a P.O. box, and when I found out about the VOP, I pretty much just lost contact. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get my child support caught up, and I just got a job back and everything. I mean, I really don't have no excuse for it.
Okay.
I was just trying to get things. I've raised 2 kids on my own right now that I have custody of besides the 3 I pay child support on, so I've been trying to figure something out to where they're not totally without everything while I did go to jail, you know what I mean?
Okay. Where are those kids now?
They're with, actually right now they're with their mother since I got picked up yesterday in Homosassa, Florida. But I support them fully. They live with me full time, those 2.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. The resolution for you on that case right now is 30 days in the county jail, and there really isn't any reason for me to do anything but 30 days right now. I can appoint the public defender to represent you on it because you'll be back in court in less than 30 days, so it's conceivable they could find a reason to reduce that time. I can't make any promises, but all you'll get today is the 30 days. If you want me to appoint you a lawyer on that case, they'll come see you, and then you'll be back to see me on the 6th of September, and we'll see where we're at then. Would you like the public defender?
Yes, sir. What are we doing about the writ then?
Well, we're getting to that. All right. So appoint the public defender on my case. Bond's going to stay no bond. You're going to stay right where you're at until the 6th of September. PD will come see you. And then on the writ, because it's a Citrus County writ, there's nothing I can do about it except tell you that the purge is $1,158.40. As far as that goes, how this will work is that if you had the money, I'm guessing you don't, but if you had it, you could post it, and that would be the end of that. If you don't have it, you'll stay right where you're at till we get this case, the Hernando case, resolved. And once that's resolved, then they'll ship you up to Citrus County to deal with the child support issue.
There's no way to get that writ dropped at all from here?
Not from me, no. Unfortunately, you're coming on a weekday, and I don't have any jurisdiction over that writ. So all I can do is tell you that as soon as we're done with you, we'll send you back to Citrus. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Very good. Thanks, folks. We're adjourned.